Welcome to the channel. Okay, this is going to be a very satisfying video, and I'm happy to present this to you. What we're about to watch is probably the most important 4-minute speech ever given in the Los Angeles City Council in the history of Los Angeles. So what you're about to watch is Tracy Park calling out the budget and calling out all of the wasted spending on what I like to refer to it as the homeless industrial complex. Because billions of dollars go in and they don't come out, and the problem just gets worse. In fact, there was recently an audit done in Los Angeles that showed that they can't track about $2.5 billion. They don't know where it went. It's not trackable. And we're going to get more into that in a second, because there is now going to be an investigation by the DOJ on a federal level, which is awesome. But here is Tracy Park calling out the budgeting. And what happens in Los Angeles, in fact, a lot of cities, is you keep seeing them all the funding for essential services keeps going down and down and down. The funding, they cut $20 million from the fire, which they're putting back because they have to now. They cut budgeting for fire department, cutting budgeting for police department, all of these essential services, and then proposing more and more and more money to the homeless problem, which it seems to be the more you put into the homeless situation in Los Angeles, the worse it gets. It's weird how it works out that way. Anyway, here is Tracy Park in City Council calling them all out.
Councilmember Park, Councilmember Lee.
Council President, at the start of this budget process, we made a promise to maintain core services and minimize impacts to Angelenos. But this budget doesn't reflect those promises. It's bloated with homeless spending, a bottomless pit, and taxpayer boondoggle that doubles down on failure year after year. And frankly, at this point, it's just embarrassing. Hundreds of millions of dollars on bridge homes and home keys and interim housing sites, and no one can even tell us which ones are operational and which ones aren't, or how many beds we have. Spending $1.5 million per door to build micro units of housing to give away to homeless drug addicts, when the vast majority of our own city employees can never afford a condo at that price.
This is true.
LAHSA is in a free-for-all. Literally no one is able to account for the billions we flush down the toilet, the county wisely pulling out, while we're over here at the city completely unprepared and so unable to manage our own homeless affairs that we're about to be placed in receivership by a federal judge. Again, it's embarrassing. I don't think we should agree to spend another penny on homelessness until we, as a full council, not just the few of you who get invited into the conversation, have the chance to chime in and actually cast a vote on whether we're finally getting a divorce from LAHSA and what the future of homeless services delivery looks like in LA. But instead of fixing that mess, what did we decide to go after? The increase we gave our fire department? After all we literally just witnessed in January with our own eyes, desperately in need they are, with literally half the staffing and funding they should have for a fire department in a city of our size. There are still 100 rigs sitting over at the boneyard, but we're sitting here unable to say yes to the mechanics that we need to fix them. We're shrinking LAPD in favor of expanding other programs that haven't been effective, and we're doing it right on the cusp of major world events and in the midst of a crime and homelessness crisis, while our residents continue to be victimized in a city where the former deputy mayor just pled guilty to calling in bomb threats to City Hall. That's the state of our city. Going after our neighborhood councils, the people who volunteer their time to help guide us and do good things in our neighborhood and in our city. All of our residents residents and taxpayers, all they want is a fully funded police and fire department. They want the sidewalks fixed.
Yeah.
They want the street lights to work, and they want their kids to be able to play at the local park without having to step over drug and trash camps. We are down rabbit holes of spending on things that no one cares about. We haven't eliminated the price gouging that we do to ourselves. I just can't in good conscience vote for a budget that makes our city less safe, less fiscally sound, and even less responsive to our constituents' basic needs. I do appreciate all of the hard work that the mayor and the CAO and the CLA and the budget committee put into this, but I just cannot support this budget as it stands. Thank you, Council President.
In my opinion, it's more than just embarrassing. It's criminal. And as I said earlier, the DOJ is putting together a task force to investigate the use of homeless funds in Southern California. This news came out earlier this month. The Department of Justice will form a task force to investigate fraud, waste, abuse, and corruption involving the use of funds to combat homelessness in Southern California. The Homelessness Fraud and Corruption Task Force will include federal prosecutors from the Major Fraud Section, the Public Corruption and Civil Rights Section, and the Civil Division's Civil Fraud Section. That's a mouthful. Of the United States Attorney's Office. Okay, the task force will investigate and use of funds in counties within the jurisdiction of Central District of California. California has spent more than $24 billion over the past 5 years to address homelessness, but officials have been unable to account for all the expenditures and outcomes, and the homeless crisis has only gotten worse. Taxpayers deserve answers for where and how their hard-earned money has been spent, and if local officials cannot provide proper oversight and accountability, we will do it for them. If we discover federal laws were violated, we will make arrests. That is a big, big deal. Hallelujah to that. And also, May 8th, wait, it's May. April was when that came out. It is May now. Jeez Louise. Top LA Homeless Services official accused of misconduct. Agency settles for $800,000. A lot of people don't know this happened. The Los Angeles top homelessness official faced misconduct allegations involving crony hiring, destroyed records, and inappropriate behavior, according to a whistleblower. The Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority quietly paid $800,000 to settle these allegations against LASH's CEO, Dr. Alicia Adams Kellum. The claims were filed by 2 former senior officials. So there is a lot of misconduct, a lot of mismanaged money, and no results that are happening in Southern California. And I am, quite frankly, really happy that there is a federal investigation going on. Should have happened a long time ago, in my opinion. But like exactly what Tracy was saying, exactly what I was saying at the top of the video, they keep cutting essential services that are making things less safe, less livable for Angelinos all over, yet they're throwing billions of dollars into this homeless crisis that is continuously getting worse. So I will be really interested to see what the results of this investigation, and I have a feeling the announcement of that investigation is what prompted some of these whistleblowers to come forward. Anyway, that is everything I have for you about that. Have a good day.